Issei Sagawa, also known as Pang or the Kobe Cannibal, was a Japanese lust murderer, cannibal, and necrophiliac known for the killing of René Hartevelt in Paris in 1981. Issei Sagawa was born on 26 April 1949 in Kobe, Hyogo Prefecture, to wealthy parents. Sagawa's father, Akira Sagawa, was a businessman who had served as president of Kurita Water Industries, and his grandfather had been an editor for the Asahi Shimbun. Sagawa was born prematurely and, reportedly, was small enough that he could fit in the palm of his father's hand. He immediately developed enteritis, a disease of the small intestine. Sagawa eventually recovered after several injections of potassium and calcium and saline. Sagawa's fragile health and introverted personality led to him developing a strong interest in literature. He sought out fairy tales that involved humans being eaten, and his favorite was Hansel and Gretel. He even recalls noticing classmates' thighs in the first grade and thinking, that looks delicious. Sagawa reported that, as a youth, he committed bestiality on his dog and experienced cannibalistic desires for women. Sagawa attended Waco University and completed a master's degree in English literature at Kwansei Gakuin University. At the age of 24, while attending Waco University in Tokyo, Sagawa followed a tall German woman home, then broke into her apartment while she was sleeping. Sagawa's intention was to cannibalize her by slicing off part of her buttocks and sneaking away with a small part of her flesh. But she awoke and, according to Sagawa, thwarted his attack and pushed him to the ground. Sagawa was captured by police and charged with attempted rape, and did not confess his true intentions to authorities. Sagawa's charges of attempted rape were dropped when his father paid a settlement to the victim. In 1977, at the age of 28, Sagawa moved to France to pursue a PhD in literature at the Sorbonne in Paris. Sagawa has said that while residing in Paris, almost every night I would bring a prostitute home and then try to shoot them. But for some reason, my fingers froze up and I couldn't pull the trigger. René Hartevelt was a Dutch student studying with Sagawa at the Sorbonne. Over time, Sagawa struck up a friendship with her, occasionally inviting her to his home for dinner. At some point, he gained her trust. He attempted to kill her once, unsuccessfully, before actually murdering her. The first time the gun misfired when her back was turned. Though most would take this as a sign to give up, it only pushed Sagawa further down his rabbit hole. It made me even more hysterical, and I knew that I simply had to kill her, he said. The very next night, he did. On 11 June 1981, Sagawa, then 32, invited his Sorbonne classmate, René Hartevelt, to dinner at his apartment at 10 Rue Erlanger, under the pretext of translating poetry for a school assignment. Sagawa planned to kill and eat her, having selected her for her health and beauty, characteristics he felt he lacked. Sagawa considered himself weak, ugly, and small. He was 4 feet 9 inches tall, and claimed he wanted to absorb her energy. She was 25 years old and 5 feet 10 inches. After Hartevelt arrived, she began reading poetry at a desk with her back to Sagawa when he shot her in the neck with a rifle. Sagawa said he fainted after the shock of shooting her, but awoke with the realization that he had to carry out his plan. Sagawa only felt a moment of remorse before he became elated. I thought about calling an ambulance, he recalled, but then I thought, hang on, don't be stupid. You've been dreaming about this for 32 years, and now it's actually happening. Sagawa raped her corpse, but he could not bite into her skin because his teeth were not sharp enough. So he left the apartment and purchased a butcher knife. Sagawa consumed various parts of Hartevelt's body, eating most of her breasts, face, buttocks, feet, thighs, and neck, either raw or cooked, even admitting that he swallowed her clitoris whole due to her being on her period at the time, and him not liking the smell of menstrual blood, while saving other parts in his refrigerator. Sagawa also took photographs of Hartevelt's body at each eating stage. Once the remains of her body that he did not consume started decomposing, Sagawa attempted to dump the remains of Hartevelt's corpse in a lake in the Bois de Boulogne Park, carrying her dismembered body parts in 2 suitcases, but was caught in the act and arrested by French police 4 days later. When police found Sagawa and questioned him, his response was a simple admission. "I killed her to eat her flesh." Sagawa's wealthy father provided a lawyer for his defense, and after being held for 2 years awaiting trial, Sagawa was found legally insane and unfit to stand trial by the French judge, Jean-Louis Bruguière, who ordered him held indefinitely in a mental institution. After a visit by the author Inuhiko Yamota, Sagawa's account of the murder and its aftermath was published in Japan under the title In the Fog. Sagawa's subsequent publicity and macabre celebrity likely contributed to the French authorities' decision to deport him to Japan, where he was immediately committed to Matsuzawa Hospital in Tokyo. His examining psychologists all declared him sane and found sexual perversion was his sole motivation for murder. As the charges against Sagawa in France had been dropped, the French court documents were sealed and were not released to Japanese authorities. Consequently, Sagawa could not legally be detained in Japan. Sagawa checked himself out of the hospital on 12th of August 1986 and subsequently remained free until his death. Sagawa's continued freedom was widely criticized. In the years since, he has effectively made a living off his crime, and he's even become something of a minor celebrity in Japan. He has appeared on numerous talk shows and written manga novels that graphically depict killing and eating Hartvelt. He has even starred in softcore porn reenactments where he bites actors. And throughout his life, he has been chillingly unrepentant. When he discusses his crime, it's as if he believes it's the most natural thing in the world, and he plans to do it again. He blames the media's representation of Western women, like Grace Kelly, for sparking his cannibalistic fantasies, equating it with what most people would call sexual desire. Where other people dreamed of bedding these beautiful women, Sagawa dreamed of eating them. Issei Sagawa says the reasons behind his cannibalistic tendencies can't be explained to or conceptualized by anyone who doesn't share his exact urges. He maintains, however, that he never thought of killing them, only gnawing on their flesh. Ultimately, he said his only regret was that he hadn't eaten her while she was alive. "What I truly wished was to eat her living flesh," he said. "Nobody believes me, but my ultimate intention was to eat her, not necessarily to kill her." The desire to eat people becomes so intense around June when women start wearing less and showing more skin, he said. "Just today, I saw a girl with a really nice derriere on my way to the train station. When I see things like that, I think about wanting to eat someone again before I die. What I'm saying is, I can't bear the thought of leaving this life without ever tasting that derriere that I saw this morning. Or her thighs," he continued. "I want to eat them again while I'm alive, so that I can at least be satisfied when I die." Sagawa died from complications of pneumonia at a hospital in Tokyo on November 24, 2022, at the age of 73.